welcome to Greater Fort Lauderdale.
Good morning, VeeamON. How are we doing? And Veeam's purpose is to power data resilience for you, keeping every business and the world always running.
Please welcome to the stage Veeam's Chief Revenue Officer, John Jester.
Good morning, VeeamON. It's fantastic to be back here with you today. What a day one. I loved watching that video, seeing many of you in action, seeing the day come across the screen. But we've got a great day lined up for you today as well. There are over 70 breakout sessions that you can do this afternoon. And for those of you watching online, and we have thousands live streaming, 30 of those sessions you can participate in online. So it's going to be a great, great day for you. Of course, we've got Lab Wars going. We've got the Solutions Expo. So take this afternoon, get out there, participate, see our solutions in action. It's going to be an exciting day two for everybody. Now, to get today started off, I want to start with a partner session. In this session, you're going to hear about Lenovo, how they're working with Veeam, how they're building great solutions together with Veeam for you, our customers. So to bring that story to life, please join me in welcoming Veeam's own Chief Executive Officer, Anton Gostev, and Lenovo's Executive Vice President of Platforms, Kirk Skaugen. Anton, Kirk, come on out. Anton, Kirk, thank you.
Kirk, welcome to VeeamON. How do you feel?
This is exciting.
That's awesome. You know, Kirk, you guys just finished your fiscal year. So Lenovo's fiscal year ends in March. You know, any highlights and how's the focus looking for 2025?
Yeah, well, we're back to growth as a company. It's exciting after COVID to see us back rebounding with the PC growth. We had double-digit growth across our data center business and our phone business. As I look into this year, it's really about what we call smarter AI for all. I think what's so exciting about our partnership is that what we're seeing is the amount of data in the world has doubled over the last 3 years. That's more data than has been created in the entire history of the world up until now. But for us, you know, most people know us as a PC company, but we're seeing 75% of that data move to the edge. And we're only computing 2% of the data today. So when we say smarter for AI for all, we mean hybrid AI, moving data and computing it at every place on Earth.
That's pretty cool. So AI becomes a huge focus. By the way, the new brand of PCs from Lenovo, absolutely stunning. I love the Lenovo Yoga 9i, the dual screen one.
Yes.
Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. So huge focus on AI. That's great. You know, in some ways, we just launched the announcement literally a minute back, which is Lenovo and Veeam have entered a strategic partnership. And that hit the wires at 9 o'clock Eastern, you know, actually 6 minutes back. And the heart of that is Lenovo's TrueScale backup as a service to all of Lenovo's customers. And that is powered by Veeam. It is super exciting. Can you share some more details about TrueScale backup?
Sure. So Lenovo TrueScale is an as-a-service offering where everything that Lenovo sells, from the PC to server, storage, and data management, can be consumed as a service. And so what we get is we get ransomware protection with immutability kind of back in by default, but we're giving you the flexibility to consume that as a service regardless of how you consume. So you can move to an OpEx model together, and it's going to be a fantastic offering.
That's amazing. You know, one of the things you keep telling me about the progress Lenovo has had in the last years, it'll be great for you to just take a few seconds and share with all the people here and all the people listening live. I mean, Lenovo has made an incredible progress in terms of market share, for servers and compute, which sometimes I think escapes, wide awareness. It'll be great to hear from you about that.
Yeah, so I think AI PC is here this year, as you've seen. I think it's probably the biggest thing that hits the PC in the last 30 years. You're going to have a personal digital assistant that's going to help you make your life more efficient, help you with your memory, et cetera. In the phone market now, a lot of people don't realize we own Motorola, so we're now more than 60% of the flip phone and foldable market in the US, the third largest phone company in the US, probably the fastest growing Android company in the world. And in the server and storage space, we've gone from number 11 and number 13 up to number 3. So part of this hybrid AI world, we think there's a world where you're going to have personal AI that's going to be very private to you on your phone, tablet, or PC. We'll have enterprise private AI that's kind of something that you want to stay within your firewall for data sovereignty, and then public AI. And that's kind of our vision for hybrid AI and a world of smarter AI for all.
That's awesome. This is the foundation of a strategic partnership, which is we're not just opportunistically selling if and when the thing comes about in front of a client. This is TrueScale backup as a service for Lenovo's customers, powered by Veeam. And that is super critical. So any thoughts on you? Because announcing it is great, but activating it and creating value every day to our customers is eventually when it becomes real. Any thoughts on how do we make this partnership real and take it to the next level?
Yeah, so I know I was down here in Florida last week for our own executive summit with our partners. I know there's a lot of partners in the audience. Look, Lenovo is a channel-first company. In the 180 markets that we do business in, whether you're talking about server, storage, PC, tablet, et cetera. So to all the partners out there, there's tremendous collaboration you're going to see between Veeam and Lenovo of bringing this to market through our partner community. We think people are looking for deeper integrated solutions. We're going to have deep engineering collaboration between our two companies. Our dual headquarters is just up in Raleigh, North Carolina, so I'd encourage you all to come there. We have an offering called ThinkShield that is integrating from phone to tablet to PC to server, a very tight security integration. And we're very excited. Gartner just said we're the #1 supply chain in Asia and number 10 of all companies in the world. So we're going to be able to get this out to every corner of the globe together, helping with the ransomware protection as a service.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for all our customers, partners, as you think about consuming Veeam solutions as a service, our joint offering is a great option. So I look forward to that. And the other thing I'd say is, having worked Kirk now for almost 7 or 8 months as we, came together to build a partnership, first, opportunistically selling, but then saying we've got to do more and get to a strategic partnership. It's been great to actually get to know Kirk, not just as a professional, as a friend as well. And I think those relationships matter as we come together as companies to deliver the best solution for our customers, for our partners. So Kirk, thank you for your partnership.
Absolutely.
And I look forward to raising a toast when we come back to VeeamON in 2025.
Excellent. Have a great conference, and thank you, everyone. Look forward to the year.
Thank you very much, Kirk. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
John, I'm going to bring you back up. Thank you.
All right, fantastic hearing about that partnership. And when I think of an example of listening to our customers and building solutions that meet their needs, TrueScale is a great example of that. You need the performance of a system running in your data center, but you want the economics and manageability of a cloud service. TrueScale brings that to you. So really exciting. Now, next up this morning, I want to talk about another of our strategic partners. And this partner is both an alliance partner, a diamond sponsor, and also just won our America's Partner of the Year, and that's Amazon Web Services. And AWS is someone that many of you in this room use. And in fact, we have to measure the amount of data our customers send to AWS from Veeam in exabytes. That's the type of scale that we have, that we partner together and work on. So to bring this to life, I want to invite Paul Megan, Director of Product Management for Amazon S3 and Glacier, to the stage. Paul, come on up. Paul. Thanks for coming to the event, spending some time with our customers, our partners. And you know, Veeam and AWS, we've had a long partnership, focused on innovation, building solutions at scale for our customers. I'd love for you to tell this audience about how you've been building that on AWS and how Veeam and AWS work together.
All right, I'll do that, John. Thanks a lot. And thanks for having me at VeeamON. I'm super excited to be here. We've been at it for a while, over the course of the last 18 years, running durable storage in the cloud at scale. And today, we're up to some mind-boggling numbers, right? We have trillions of objects in the system, spanning across many, many exabytes of data, with a whole bunch of traffic coming in and out of the system to the tune of hundreds of millions of requests per second. Now, of course, we didn't get there, on day one, right? We got there over the course of 18 years of operational experience and learning from mistakes, and that's really what has built the pedigree in S3 over those years. And it's similar to Veeam in that way of best-in-class industry leaders, delivering solutions for customers over many, many years, right? Veeam does a great job on the front end, backing up clients, storing data, recovering data, spinning up VMs from backups, doing these sorts of things. We are focused on what we refer to as the fundamentals, storage fundamentals, right? And over the years, we've learned that this is the greatest value that we can provide to customers, is to just execute like crazy on these fundamentals so that you don't even know that we're there, right? That's always our goal. And since I have a few hundred data recovery nerds as a captive audience, what I wanted to do with my time here is to drill down into one of these fundamentals that is extremely important for recovering data, and that is the concept of 11 nines of durability, right? And so since this is a technical conference, I thought what I'd do with a few minutes here is to drill into what we mean by 11 nines, what are some of the systems and technologies in play in order to deliver on this promise that we make to customers. And my goal is for you guys to understand what's behind this number so that you can architect against it effectively, right? We coined this term several years ago, and since then, the industry has sort of adopted it, and often it seems like a marketing slogan. So I wanted to sort of bring this to light for you guys with the actual technology in play within S3 to execute on it. There are really 4 durability threats, fundamental durability threats that we mitigate within S3, within the storage layer of the system. And I'm going to take you through those 4. The first is the concept of correct backups as they flow through the system. Data is most at risk when it's in motion, right? And so what we do is we check some data when you hand it to us. When you give us a backup, we check some, we fingerprint it. We check some it along the request path, and when we land it on storage, we actually read it back and check some it again and double check that what you gave us is in fact what we store, right? This allows us to know that your backups are correct when they land in storage. The second durability threat that we mitigate on your behalf is the threat that devices will fail out from underneath your backups. Every backup that you give us, we store in such a way that it's redundant enough to tolerate multiple concurrent device failures under the backup with no impact to the integrity of your data. This is one step, but then as devices fail, which is inevitable, we have a huge repair fleet operating within the system that detects those failures and then recovers the redundancy that you need to maintain 11 nines of durability. The third threat that we mitigate on your behalf is once your data is correctly stored on redundant storage and that redundancy is constantly being repaired, you also have to roll through periodically and verify that no bit rot or bit flips or firmware errors in the storage fleet have caused a backup to stray from being correct over time. And so we have a huge durability auditing fleet that's an independent set of systems that rolls through all those hundreds of trillions of objects that we have in the system and verifies that they stay correct over time. So now we have checks to verify that backups land on storage correctly. We have a redundant storage across many storage devices with a repair fleet maintaining that redundancy. And we have durability auditing to check to verify that your backups stay correct over time. This all occurs within a single AWS availability zone. The way to think about an availability zone within an AWS region is it's an independent data center. We store our data across a minimum of 3 availability zones every time you give us a backup. This means we're able to mitigate the 4th durability risk, which is the loss of an entire data center. Now, this is actually more common in the data center world than you would think. A data center can become impaired with a sprinkler going off or something like that. It's not just a smoking hole scenario. But S3 mitigates that on your behalf by distributing against a minimum of 3. And so we're able to just route around even the loss of an entire data center with no impact to your backup and recovery operations. So those are the 4 things that we're doing in the background all the time. And the team is always focused on raising the bar on these fundamentals and making sure that we're always delivering in a way that is just transparent to you guys. John?
Yeah, thank you, Paul, for sharing. And 11 nines. That is an incredible statistics on the reliability, the durability that you focused on building for our customers. Now, you've heard from AWS. Now we want to talk about a partner that's actually working with Veeam and AWS to bring solutions to life. So let's welcome to the stage Dante Orsini, Chief Strategy Officer of 1111 Systems. Dante, come on out. Dante, thanks for coming out. And, Dante, you've been working with Veeam. In fact, you have thousands of Veeam customers that use 1111. So tell this audience a little bit about the portfolio of solutions that you have and why so many customers are choosing 1111 in Veeam.
First of all, thanks for having us too, John. Appreciate it. So 1111, we are Veeam's #1 global managed infrastructure services provider. Been partnered together forever, right? And I think that our focus and our mission is real simple. Every day, just like Paul, we get up and we're obsessed. We want to ensure that our customers and our partners' applications and data are running, accessible, and they're protected regardless of where that application and data resides.
Yeah, and we've been partnered together for 15 years. This is a long-serving partnership. But hey, you had to make some decisions. Why did you choose to partner with AWS and Veeam on bringing these solutions to market?
Well, it's real simple with Veeam, right? As you mentioned, we started in 2009. Yeah. At the time, we were just consuming the platform, right? Eventually, that led to Veeam focusing on folks like us as a route to market on the cloud provider side, which has been a great collaboration, as you know. But as time goes on and applications and data evolve, right, and we look at what's heavy on the minds of all of our customers, it's really ensuring that they can stand in the face of any type of cyber event and be resilient. Yeah. And when we looked at our own platform, right, we've been really focused on how we integrate the best of breed technologies to deliver that together. However, at some point, you start to look at scale, right? It's all about scale and availability. And most importantly, when we talk about recovering from an event, performance is critical. So we've done a ton of diligence, and we've worked with Paul's team for the last 18 months. And we've been really focused on how do we take what we built ourselves and also deliver that on top of AWS, right? So that's underpinning a lot of our Veeam offers today. But what's unique is we do so much due diligence because, as I mentioned, this is critical to our customers. So when you look at all the folks that are operating at very large scale, large regulated industry, there is not a better platform on the planet of sitting actually between both of you and delivering that as a managed service for our customers that need the help. So that's why we're here.
No, fantastic. And I think you get a sense of how we work together with our partners, alliance partners, and hyperscalers, MSPs to bring great solutions to market. And this is one I'm just so proud of the work we've done with 1111, AWS. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dante. Really appreciate you coming out and sharing with our VeeamON audience here. Let's give them a hand. So I think you got to see this morning how we work with Lenovo, how we work with AWS, 1111. This is what I love about VeeamON. I spent yesterday talking to many of you, our customers, our partners, and I'd love hearing how our customers are protecting their business with Veeam. I'd love talking to our partners, understanding how they're building on top of Veeam to create great, unique, and differentiated solutions for all of you. And the other thing it reminded me of is hey, what a privilege it is to have such a fantastic community. So thank you for being here. So the next thing we're going to do is transition. And yesterday on stage, we promised you we would show you more demos on stage than in any other Veeam event we've had in our history. So it's about time to take a look at the products, the solutions, and to see what's coming. And to make that happen, please join me in welcoming Anton Gostev, Veeam's Chief Product Officer, to the stage. Anton, come on out. Anton.
Thank you. Good morning. Are you excited? You're probably like, I was promised demos. Where are demos? They're coming, and to make it happen, I want all of us to give a very warm welcome to our product strategy team.
Welcome to the stage, Anthony Spiteri, Emily Tellez, Andre Stadler, Corinne Bissett, and Michael Cade.
Of course, thank you. Of course, so much work was put into these demos by this team in particular. We've done it 3-4 times. Hopefully everything runs, everything you're going to see today, 100% live, sorry. But there is one other team that worked for months to even get us to this point where we can do these demos. And please, let's give another round of applause for the magnificent Veeam R&D team. All right. Our first demo, and if we can advance the slides, is we want to demo Proxmox, our Proxmox integration, and really how easy and how fast we make it. We allow you to move your workloads, restore them from any platform to Proxmox. Anthony, over to you.
Thanks, Anton. Hey, everybody. So 3 years ago at VeeamON Virtual, I showed for the first time our Veeam backup for Red Hat virtualization, our 4th hypervisor. 2 months ago, we released Oracle Linux VM, our 5th hypervisor. And today, I'm proud to show you our 6th hypervisor, Veeam backup for Proxmox VE. Before I get into that, though, it's really important to understand why we're doing this and how we can do this. The power of the Veeam data platform, of the Veeam portable data format, enables us to take backups from any location and restore them across different hypervisors or clouds. And as you can see here on screen, we've got all of the hypervisors listed. We've got Hyper-V, we've got Nutanix AHV, we've got Oracle Linux VM, we've got Red Hat virtualization, VMware, and of course Proxmox. So this is the power of the Veeam data platform. So what I'm going to show you today is a very simple demo of moving a workload from VMware to Proxmox. So let's go to the browser. And you can see here I've got a workload here. It's a pretty simple web interface. It's got a dashboard. This is actually running at the moment on VMware. So you can see here I've got this machine, VeeamON MongoDB. So I've got a running ping going to that as well. So let's actually go here and power off this machine. So we'll power that off. And if you have a look here, we should lose the ping in a couple of seconds. Here we go, there we go. And that's going to actually time out there as well. So, what we're going to do here is migrate this to Proxmox. And as you can see here, we have the Proxmox VE environment. So this is running in a lab. We've got similar networking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that VM and get it across here. Now, this could be from a migration point of view, could be for testing, whatnot. If I go to the home, you can see here that we've got the disk and we've got the VM. So if I right-click here, I'm going to restore the entire VM to Proxmox. So I'm just going to click on Next to get the latest restore point. We're going to obviously restore to a new location, that being the Proxmox environment. We're going to select the name. So there we go. We get the host. Let's select that Proxmox environment there. Making sure that we can get that target location going okay. Here we go. Whoops. Hold on. That's an error that we didn't see before. That's okay. Always good doing live demos, isn't it? Hold on a second. Let's go and try that again. Come on. Oh, that was a crash. So Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's get this out. How good is going live? That VM is still down. Hold on. We're going to get through this. Hold on. Of all the times, Anton, for this to happen. This shows that we're doing it live, though, and I haven't fainted, so that's probably a good thing as well.
I told you yesterday we had to do it fourth time, but...
All right. Hold on. Let's get this loaded up. I'm still confident with this, by the way. Let's go. By the way, while this loads, this was, without a doubt, our most requested demo to do today. So we have to get it right. OK, let's save this thing, eh? Come on. Come on. Let's try this again. This is what you get when you work with code that's not quite baked. OK, here we go. Let's do this. Next. OK, next location. Select the target folder. Let's go here. Click OK. Come on now. Come on. Oh, no.
Yeah.
OK, you know what? We don't usually do this, but just to show you this off, I'm going to go, because we are Veeam, we do have a backup and we do have a video. So why not go to the video for the first time ever in VeeamON history? OK, here we go. Because we like to kind of keep things exciting. Go here, go here. OK, from about this location, let's hit the video. OK, so while I talk over it, let's go. This is the part that was supposed to work right here, OK? So click on Next. We select the storage location. And then we select the cluster. We select the disk type, or a bunch of different locations here. We then will select Next, and we'll click on the network. This could be live, right? Who knows? Now we're going to click on Finish, and this is going to actually go and start the restore. So you can see here that we've timed out. The MongoDB has timed out, and we're back here in the Proxmox server. Now the Proxmox server is going to have that VM start. You can see there, VM 191. That's now starting.
And this video is not accelerated because what I like about this demo is actually literally takes only 1 minute to restore a VM,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
So here we go. So we've got this VM. We're going to restore in progress. You can see we're using our hot add, which is our traditional technology. We're going to go back and see how this is going. So it's instantiated the VM. It's restored. Here we go. It's going to connect. There'll be a little bit of an error here. I've seen this video before, by the way. This is why I can preempt this. Now we're going to click out of it, and it should show us the actual boot screen in a second.
Yeah, the restore completed, I think.
So the restore is completed.
Yeah.
We're going to show the boot screen. Here we go, completed. So you can see in about 40 seconds. Let's go back here, re-click on the hardware, and then the console. Pop up. Here we go. Click on the actual VM. We've got the ping back. We have, and now grand finale. We'll restart this. We can log into the Proxmox server, this machine on Proxmox. So, not so great for the live demo, but you still got to see this technology in action. It's easy. We shouldn't be surprised that this works because it is the Veeam portable data format. It just works sometimes, not on stage sometimes.
Until it doesn't.
How good's that, guys? Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Well handled.
We just made VeeamON history by going to a video. But hey, the one thing there, you guys saw me, it was restoring a MongoDB VM, right? Anton, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, of course, Anthony. When it's a very small VM like we restored, and it's MongoDB, but it's not a cluster of them, right? It's very easy to back it up on the image level and restore. You don't need a special integration. What about having a big Mongo cluster, right? That becomes much easier. How do you coordinate backups of those individual VMs? Previously, you had to use a scripting. Then when it comes to restore, you usually don't restore the entire cluster. You want to restore a certain collection only. And that's the integration we're going to demo next. Integration with our MongoDB, backup of MongoDB, and Emily. Please show it to us.
Yeah, thanks, Anton. Yeah, so what I'm going to walk you all through today is just a quick, simple way to get started with MongoDB and being able to back it up. So for Veeam admins that are in the audience, those that are watching at home, you should be all familiar with the screen. In our inventory tab, we actually have a new protection group for MongoDB. So with this protection group, what we're able to do is actually plug in our MongoDB replica. When you plug in your MongoDB replica, Veeam's going to utilize that to discover the entire topology that makes up your MongoDB deployment. When we discover that deployment, we'll be able to then not only scan all of those workloads, but then deploy all the Veeam components that are necessary to make an application aware or application consistent backup of MongoDB. So Anton hit on it earlier, right? That's probably the #1 reason why customers would want to leverage this type of technology versus having to go in and manage any type of pre-freeze or post-thaw scripts in the native MongoDB environment itself. The second reason is going to be recoveries, which we're going to get to a little bit later. So I've added in and I've now discovered my MongoDB environment. Now I'm going to go into my backup jobs, and I'm actually going to create a new backup. So underneath the application group, we have a new icon for MongoDB. And creating a backup is just as simple as creating any other type of job. We're going to add in our previously discovered replica set. And next, you'll be able to decide where you want to back up this data to. So launching with version 1, we're going to support not only direct backup to object storage, but also Veeam hardened repository and deduplication appliance vendors. So really great options for customers to have that flexibility and decide where they want that data to actually land. Retention policy-wise, completely up to you. If you have a GFS or reasons for archiving this data for long-term, you can absolutely do it. We're also going to support backup copies. So if you have a 3-2-1 rule, needing to get data off-site to a secondary location, that's going to be absolutely supported as well. Now, the final thing that I will show, just because Veeam is all about freedom of choice, is the backup preference. So Anton mentioned it earlier. We have a deployment. We have a lot of large machines that are all working in tandem together. So being able to decide how data is being processed from this deployment is going to be crucial for any type of MongoDB admin. So here we can decide to leverage either the primary node, or if I want to specify a preferred node within that actual deployment or replica set, I could do so here within my backup preferences.
So this way we don't affect the production environment, right?
Correct. Yep. So I have a backup job. It's ran. It was successful. But what good is a backup if we don't show any good restores? So Anthony showed how to do a restore of the entire image or the VM itself. But let's get granular. Let's look at what are going to be some of the different options we have available directly inside of MongoDB itself. So here I'm just going to go ahead and select my most recent backup. We'll give it a reason. We're doing this for VeeamON 2024. Hit Next and Browse. Version 1 is launching with the brand new Veeam Explorer for MongoDB. So we'll be able to go in and actually load all of the data contents that are part of my deployment. And I can get granular. So to steal Rick's famous use case, right? Fire, flood, blood, whatever might be the data loss scenario, we can go ahead and we can recover just that particular data set as granular as we need it to be. So if I right-click and let's say I'm going to restore this collection because it was corrupt or we had some type of deletion, I could do so here, recovering to the original location, restoring to a different location, so if we set up a brand new machine. And then next I'll just have to go ahead and authenticate. And this is going to authenticate to my MongoDB deployment. Next, it's going to ask me to authenticate to the actual MongoDB primary node that I'm going to be, can't talk and type at the same time, that I'm going to be connecting to and restoring to as well. And once this validates, we'll see that collection that was chosen for the restore. And I'm going to go ahead and hit restore. Now, this data set does still exist on my primary target. I'm just going to go ahead and recover over this because I want to show everybody what this restore process looks like. And actually, it runs pretty fast. So the restore process is going to start. It's going to mount. We're going to start pushing those collections out to that target DB. And within 2 seconds, yep, it's already cleaning up and finishing. So with that, right, customers have the capability to get as granular as they want and be able to recover the data from MongoDB directly back to the database of choice.
Thank you, Emily. Whew. At least this demo worked. OK. 1-1 so far. Okay, our next demo is going to be Salesforce, our Salesforce Backup version 3. And it has a few features, but really I'm most excited about data archiving. Why? Because if you manage Salesforce, if you work with Salesforce, you know that data sprawl in Salesforce creates so many different issues. Andre, maybe you can tell us more what specific issues are created by data sprawl in Salesforce.
Thanks, Anton. Yeah, well, you're right, but the story is a little bit more complex. So let me give you 3 more reasons why I believe this is very important. OK, so first, every Salesforce organization comes with limited default storage. If you want to get more, you need to purchase it additionally at a higher price. Second, due to design of the system, Salesforce users might see performance degradation as the data grows with the organization. And third, data still needs to be available for compliance and data analytics reasons. So now, let me become Salesforce administrator for 5 minutes and show you around. So I just got an angry email from my sales department, and they're saying Salesforce is not operational anymore. That's weird, right? So let's go ahead and check my sales console. So I can navigate to the accounts, and let's create a new account over here real quick. OK, could be Veeam. Let's click on Save. Oh my God, we have an issue. OK, they were right. So apparently, we need to do something about it, and we need to investigate it. As an experienced administrator, I know my way around. So let's go ahead and check my storage utilization over here. OK, I see where the issue is. I have used a little bit more storage that was allocated to me. So probably, I need to clean something up. I'm seeing a lot of tasks being created. So I get a good dashboard that could show me a little bit more details about those tasks. OK, let's see what it is. Oh, 6,000 tasks. Yeah, I see where the issue now. So prior to Veeam, it would have been an issue for me. I would go manually and delete those tasks one by one and spare my precious time over there. But we have Veeam Backup for Salesforce version 3. And this is the console you're seeing right now. So you see, I've been running for some time, and I've got a backup policy configured with success status. This is good. But now, good important thing about version 3 is I've got the archive tab over here, and I could create archival policies to process my objects. So let's go ahead and run the policy for tasks over here real quick. And while it's running, so we're not spending a lot of time, I'm going to show you a couple of options that are available within this policy for me. So first of all, I can filter my data based on my activity or my needs. So for example, in this case, I'm going to archive all the tasks that are older than 30 days. OK? And then this is where I can check for inconsistencies between the backup and production data. This is where I can verify if my account in Salesforce or associated to Veeam Backup for Salesforce has successful permissions to actually write this policy, which is good. And on the last screen over here, yeah, I'm going to confirm that. On the last screen here, I can actually run this policy in a test mode without touching production, just emulating this process, safe mode. And this is where I can disable default Salesforce automation should it prevent my policy from running, so kind of additional sanity check. OK, I'm going to cancel it right now and to see where we're going. OK, so it went successfully. So now we should be able to come back to Salesforce and see whether it's operational. OK, I'm going to refresh quickly this dashboard, and you should expect less tasks to be here available for me.
OK.
There we go. Worked. With this, Salesforce is operational right now, so my sales team should be happy. But now, I get another angry email, now with data analytics team. So what they're saying is they cannot build a report about sales pipeline for the upcoming board meeting. And we know how important board meetings are. So obviously, I need to do something about it. Again, no issue with Veeam. I could give them read-only access to Veeam database, so they can go ahead and mine the data the way that they want. For example, they can use Anaconda tool, or this is something that is popular with the data analytics team. So this is the tool to mine the data. It's good for machine learning and everything like that. I have created a script to kind of demonstrate to that, and I'm going to run it to see if we have a connection to Veeam database. So this is live. OK, I see we've got connection. So this is part of the script that would essentially process the Veeam database and try to pull the data out of it. OK, I've got the data. And this is something that I can use to visualize the data. So if everything's all right, drum roll, I should be able to see my historical data and all the tasks associated with it. So now, my data analytics team is happy, my sales team is happy, sales management happy, everyone's happy. I am, as a successful Salesforce administrator, I might deserve a beer or a promotion. Thank you. With that, back to you, Anton.
Thank you. Extremely powerful capability. So you can take off lots of old data that's no longer necessarily relevant, but make it still available for analytics through the data pipeline feature. Thank you, Andrei. Moving on to the next SaaS workload is Microsoft Entra ID. Again, this is the big news of the conference, right? And many people come to me thanking for this capability. Why? It's like a backbone of everyone's environment. If you're using Entra ID, super important for production management to function, but also when you become a target for cyber attack, of course, that's the first place where hackers will go. And they will prepare. They will not immediately necessarily launch the attack. They will create hidden accounts. They'll make changes to existing accounts, make them more powerful, and so on, right? So it's extremely important, even in your day-to-day monitoring of environment, to be able to understand all the changes have been made to Active Directory in the past week, past day, and so on. And that's basically where we really focus our restore experience around. Michael, can you show it to us?
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, Anton. Yeah, as Anton was saying, that authentication, that cloud authentication model is rapidly moving to Entra ID. We're all familiar with Active Directory on-prem. I'm sure many of us in the room have looked after that. So just to give you a quick look, and it's the other thing to mention, yes, M365 users are absolutely inside of Entra ID, but there's so many other use cases, and I'll get onto that shortly. And so in the VBR, in Veeam Backup and Replication, you're going to see a data backup, which is obviously going to go out and get all of those objects from Entra ID. And you're also going to see this other job that you can create called an audit log backup. And these are the event logs. And Anton mentioned this yesterday. And this is focused on all of the things that changes over the time. And Microsoft keep 30 days of that. So if we go to home, you just simply create that backup job that way. And just to show you what that looks like, very familiar, wizard-driven approach. How long do we want to store it for? And I'll go into more detail on this when we get to the top secret session. That's what we're going to be covering. A bit more of the architecture around that. I'm just going to grab a water.
Well, I'm obviously a shady character who's up to no good. And these guys will always take the opportunity. Shouldn't have been drinking so much last night. Anyway, what I'm going to do, what Michael doesn't know, is actually a few days ago, I sent him this phishing email, and he clicked it. We just discussed yesterday with one of the customers how good they become, right? They're really good. They're really hard not to click, right? So now, thanks to that, as a malicious actor, I actually have access to his account, and he happens to be a manager, the administrator of Active Directory, right? So being logged on as Michael, as you can see to the right, I can do whatever I want. So let me go to this dude here. Edit properties and sorry. Sorry, Anand. And I'm going to save it. My job here is done.
Yeah, Anand, no worries. I'll get it sorted. I'll absolutely get it sorted. No worries. Cool. Okay. That was awkward, getting a phone call from the CEO to fix something who's just promoted themselves. So when it comes to recovery, obviously, we've got that same Explorer feel that you've seen for many years on Veeam. We have the same restore function within that. And when we hit that restore, one thing I wanted to touch on was, yes, we've got that users. We can get we can get a demotion going very quickly. We've also got the ability to protect groups and restore those in a granular fashion. We've got admin units, we've got roles, and we've got those application registrations. Again, that's the important part, why this isn't just in that Veeam backup for Microsoft 365 focus. It's in VBR because of all the other different identities that we're protecting. OK, let's figure out who changed something, if you didn't guess. The important thing here, like I guessed who it was that changed it, but we have this important differentiator around metadata comparison. And what this does, this is going to go and look at the production Entra ID database, and it's going to compare that against a couple of snapshots that we have, either the selected restore point or the last one. You'll see there's 3 columns here, and fingers crossed, yeah, I thought it was him. So the selected restore point, the last backup that we had, says Chief Product Officer, and obviously he changed it. He promoted himself to Chief Executive Officer. Don't worry, Anand, we'll get that figured out. Now, this is important because this is a zero trust situation in that I don't want the backup admin to be able to do any of this. I need them to be able to jump in and give that access to the Entra ID admin because I don't want the backup admin having full control. Now, this is where I need to talk and type and hope that none of you guys are beating me to it. OK. Obviously, I've got MFA set up, but full for phishing emails. So the Entra ID admin is logged in. They've approved this request to restore. You can see here that we've already authenticated. And now we can go next. We can give it that audit reason. And then we can hit finish. And like all good live demos, we hope that this is now going to... So you saw, before we hit refresh here, oh, it's already back.
That's fast.
There you go. You're already
the
back.
quickest demotion ever. Thanks.
Awesome.
And Michael, we can make restores simpler like some competitors do. They just store the almighty account. They can do any restores. But most of our enterprise customers, they don't want that, right? They want this kind of granularity, RBAC for restores.
Yeah, exactly that.
Thank you, Michael. Great demo. So the next demo is our Microsoft 365 backup product version 8. Huge release. I only touched a little bit yesterday. I talked about scalability, but actually it comes with so many features. And Katrine, could you please show it to us?
Absolutely. So I was given about 90 seconds to show off some 3 pretty cool features that we're going to go through here. But first of all, it's going to make me go in through multi-factor authentication. So what does that mean? Security is our #1 concern. And we're showing that by making sure everyone is who they say they are when they're logging into the console. And again, typing and talking at the same time is harder than it looks. So we'll start off here, and we're going to check out our pools. So we now have proxy pools. What does this mean? We have scalability and the ability to add in multiple data movers to a single job entity to your entire organization. And as you can see here, what this means is you're also able to have proxies in maintenance mode, meaning you no longer have to have any type of downtime in order to process your backups in an efficient manner. And if you didn't notice, there's also Linux here, meaning we're giving you freedom to choose the operating system that makes sense to your organization to process all of these backups. Now, I said there's 3, so we're going to go over and check out the repository. We've had some new settings in the object storage repository, and not just the ability to have immutability on your backup copy, like we did in our previous version, but we now have the ability to have this on the primary repository that we're sending data to. And beyond that, we can have independent retention set for the immutability settings on those repositories and the ability to configure governance mode. Governance modes gives you the ability to have an additional safeguard against anyone manipulating that data without committing to some type of immutability that you are not able to change later, either for compliance reasons or for any other changes that you may experience either based off a government or your organization settings. Last, let's take a look at how easy this is to configure within the job. So if we look here, we used to have to select a repository and proxy configuration, and you'd have to go through all of your proxies to remember which repository you've selected. You only now need to choose which repository that you're going to, and it's automatically going to know that this is linked to your proxy pool and pull from all of those proxies during the job. And if I remember correctly, Anton, you quoted 11 days down to 17 hours efficiency. It's, what, about 10 times?
15, yeah.
15 times the amount in speed based off these proxy pools and configurations with our partnership with Microsoft and APIs.
Very cool. Thank you. How cool is that, guys? Okay, we're up to the next demo, right?
Yeah,
Anthony.
right. Hey, but before we go
Yeah.
into that,
Yeah.
I want to make a confession.
All right.
I sabotaged my own demo.
Okay.
Let's get the screen up, guys. So what happened is that because I wanted to make things easier to log into the Proxmox server, I changed the password, didn't I? And Veeam Backup and Replication didn't take that very kindly. So here we go with the finished product, restoration, the ping comes back, and we go to Proxmox, we can see that the machine loaded. So self-inflicted, but just wanted to go back to make sure that that wasn't the code. I did that to myself.
Nice
So there you
recovery,
go.
nice recovery.
Thank you. All right.
Such diva.
Now, Anton, so yeah,
wait. So before we go to AI demo, is it like the first time we're showing the next generation VeeamON UI?
Everyone, this is the first time worldwide that we're showing the next generation UI that we've all been waiting for in Veeam Backup Replication and VeeamON. How good is this, guys? This is the next generation UI. Give it a round of applause. Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Fantastic
So
job by
good.
developers, designers, and
Great work.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to go and work with a robot because this could go well. Okay, so what we're showing here is a chatbot, but this isn't any ordinary chatbot. This is a Veeam AI Assistant, the next generation Veeam AI Assistant that's plugged directly into the VeeamON console. So think of this as a chatbot on steroids, because what we're doing here is we're plugging into the Veeam AI, we're plugging into the Veeam API to be able to get real-time insights that the LLM or a chatbot can then look at and give you analytics. So think about this from the point of view of a backup administrator, an app owner, or even a C-level being able to interact with the Veeam platform without really needing to know the back end, okay? So let's do a little bit of an intro first. Hey, at VeeamON 2024, showing you off. I'm really bad typer, by the way. Showing off for the first time. This should go better than the last demo. All right, so it's going to go off, and it's going to run and say, hey there, VeeamON 2024, how exciting. I'm sure this demo is going to be fantastic and even better than the last one. That's not going to be too hard. So firstly, let's click on these alarm overviews. So I'm going to go through 3 scenarios here. I'm using, because obviously typing takes a long time, so I want to do a bit of a shortcut. We've got these recommended prompts that we've built into these, and this could be customizable, but they're going to be for an admin or whatever coming in and getting the visibility and analytics through the retrieval augmented generation and the LLM that you need, which is basically the way of talking to the Veeam backend, the VeeamON backend to get the insights. Let's start with the alarms overview. So this is going to go on, talk to VeeamON, and then it's going to contextually say what's happening within our environment. So you can see here that we've got a couple of unusual jobs. There's a security vulnerability there, not great, but obviously surfacing this information that we might otherwise miss. And then you can see here we've got a list of unusual jobs and durations. So if I go, tell me the one we need to focus on, okay, it should basically then itself look back at that data and with its own contextual awareness tell us which one to look at. The most critical alarm is that backup severity and compliance. So why this alarm is critical, and it gives us some recommended actions as well. So a really cool way of digging in to a problem and getting the LLM to be our assistant to help us get more insights into that and the next steps. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go and use the Threat Center. So the Threat Center is something that we released in the last product version, and you can see in the background we have got the Threat Center there in a graphical sense, and what it's going to do here is go talk to the API and give us information about the Threat Center in real time. So obviously, that's a lot of data, it's a lot of information to go through. So if I was to basically try and simplify that, because don't forget, these chatbots are here to make our life a lot easier as an admin or whatever it might be. So, well, that's a lot. Give me the too long didn't read. So now it's going to go on, and it should summarize it in a very succinct way to make sure that we're getting to the crux of the issues there. So there we go, too long didn't read, shorter sort of thing, and then recommendations as well. So that's really awesome in itself, right? So that's a really good way, again, of looking at, from an administrative point of view, getting some natural language observability is what I'm looking to call this. Okay, now this is a cool part about, let's pretend that we're a backup admin and our app team has told us that a new app with MS SQL has been deployed. Are we protecting any SQL servers? So you can see the use case for this. It's going to go in, look at VeeamON, get analysis across the environment, look at our backups and say, hey, there we go. We've got a few of these SQL servers here. How good is that? Okay. So it's showing us there that we've got these protected restore points. Now, I know that that machine is 006, so cool. Can see it. I always like talking like it's talking to a real person, right? So that's the one thing. We're not talking to a robot. Cool, can see it. Give me details on 006. So this is going to go, and you can see I'm being shorthanded with it as well, but it's going to be able to understand what I'm talking about when I say 006. So there you go. It's got the information for the job. Bam, 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 all the success. It's telling me the last details on that job. How good is that? Another use case for this. Spectacular. The final use case is to have a look at our backup server list. So let's have a look and see what VBR servers we have across our environment. And it's going to give me some server versions here. Okay, so there we go. We can see we've got a V11, a V12, a bit of information there. And it's also going to tell us some upgrade resources as well. So for that V11, let's go and update it. But I think let's give it a bit of a challenge, and let's see if it can actually upgrade that V11 server. So upgrade that V11 server. I hope you guys have got an hour or so to get this going, right? So here we go. Upgrade that V11 server. Big finale. I wish I could wave my magic wand and upgrade that V11 server. Unfortunately, my powers are limited to providing information and guidance for now, but who knows what could be the future. And I think that's the key point here. What you're seeing is the next generation of AI assistant. We can get information, we can tap into the APIs, we can get contextual responses by a large language model. But the future is this, being able to really interact with the Veeam data platform in a modern way. Anton, how good's that? How good's the future of AI assistant, guys?
Everyone says, guys, AI is the future. We say AI is the future for certain things. And like this AI-based reporting blows my mind. That really is the future of reporting. You saw how natural and easy it is. You saw how cleanly the AI system can immediately build you reports and tables, and so that's just like super amazing. And we are going to use AI heavily where it makes sense, right? So now, thank you, product strategy team. I think we need to show the high level of organization leaving the stage.
We can move.
And we are giving the stage back to our Chief Revenue Officer, John Jester. Thank you all.
Hey, fantastic seeing those demos, seeing Veeam solutions in action. I really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope we did beat our bar of showing you more demos, more solutions than at any other VeeamON. But as I reflect on these keynotes yesterday and today, there's just two things that I want to emphasize. The first is Veeam is all about customer choice. And that means if you want to use Veeam solutions as subscription software that you run, operate in your own data center, we're there for you. If you want Veeam as a SaaS solution, we have a fantastic set of partners, 12,000 VCSPs that will run a managed service and protect your business. And if you want first-party SaaS from Veeam, we have Veeam Data Cloud, we are all about choice. And I know many of you are going to consume those in hybrid environments, and we're committed to giving you the best solution that works in the public cloud, private cloud, and your own data center. So Veeam is about customer choice. The second thing I hope you took away is Veeam Cybersecure. That is an unparalleled offer to protect your data, keep your business running, and stand behind it. You know, we've got great assets with Coveware. You heard from Bill Siegel, the CEO, how they can come in and help if there is a compromise. And we stand behind all of that with a $5 million warranty. We are serious about protecting your business and being partners with you. And all of this helps us deliver on Veeam's purpose. And that is, we power data resilience, and we protect and keep your business running. That is what we're all about, is keeping your business running. So with that, thank you for the trust that you've put in Veeam to protect your data, to keep your business running. Thank you for the partnership to our partners. And I will close out by saying we have a fantastic party lined up tonight. I look forward to seeing all of you there at the party. So see you tonight. Have a great day.